What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're enjoying the content for FC24. I can't wait for the game to come out. I'm enjoying making content on it. And we've got something a little bit special for you today, a little bit different. I'm going to be giving you the best teams to manage in EA FC24. But we're going to put a little twist on it. We're going to go to ChatGPT and we're going to let AI decide who the best teams to manage are. So, without further ado, let's get into it and let's take a look at the top 10 teams to manage in FC24 career mode. And coming in 10th place, we're heading over to the Bundesliga 2 and we're looking at Hertha Berlin. So Hertha Berlin, they were a team that only sort of 2-3 seasons ago, they had a massive cash injection. They were looking at bringing in the best players and it all just went tumbling down. So Hertha, they've oscillated between divisions, but they do have the potential and they do have the financial backing really to aim higher than, well, what we're doing right now. They should be up there in the Champions League, the Europa League, at the very least the Conference League with the money they've got available to them. And honestly, if you were to manage Hertha Berlin in your EAFC 24 career mode, it would mean crafting a unique identity, leveraging Berlin's allure to attract talents, and just striving for consistent performances within Germany and hopefully in Europe after a few seasons once you can get them back to the top of a tree. Can you challenge Bayern Munich? I don't know, not many teams can, especially if you sign Harry Kane, but that's a good challenge to take on. If you can take Hertha Berlin to Bundesliga glory, then you've done a fantastic job. Coming in at number 9, and this is a team that's I've got a little soft spot for it, and I'm going to tell you why. So I'm a big Football Manager player. I love Football Manager. I love the ins and outs of it. And Sampdoria is my team in Italy. And 2 years ago, playing Football Manager, I took Sampdoria to 4 Serie A titles in a row.
It is hard to believe.
I think of Sampdoria as one of the bigger clubs in Italy. And unfortunately, they got relegated from Serie A last season, which is way below their expectations of what they should be doing. They did win a Serie A title in the 90s, and it's interesting. The club, we've got a blend of players with untapped potential. We've got some good young players. And the challenge really for Sampdoria is to restore them to the top of the Italian football tree. Can you blend youth with experience? Can you craft a winning side? Again, that's a challenge. But first, you'll have to get them out of Serie B. And coming in at number 8 and heading over to France now. And it's another major team that are just languishing in the second division. They're playing League 2 and it's Bordeaux. So obviously Bordeaux are a massive, massive French club. But they seem to have lost their way over the last few seasons. They've got 6 League 1 titles. And they've got a respected history, a mix of experienced and young players. And I don't know, it's sad to see what's happened to Bordeaux. I remember the days of Henry Saivet, who ended up at Newcastle. Didn't really do it at Newcastle, but he was talked about as one of the next big talents. Marouane Chamakh, before he went to Arsenal, was a Bordeaux player, scoring goals for fun. Look, taking over Bordeaux means building a competitive side, finding the right balance. And look, can you aim for domestic and European success? Who knows? It's not going to be an easy challenge. But financially, they have financial limitations. But can you work your way around that? Can you pick up a bargain or two along the way? Can you turn over plenty of profit from developing young players? That's the challenge. Get Bordeaux back into the French First Division and challenging like they used to do. Next up, coming in at number 7, and this is one of my favourite teams, Real Sociedad of Spain. They seem to be, I don't know, they don't have a big budget, but they're constantly upsetting the odds in La Liga. I remember David Moyes being there, and he beat Barcelona 1-0. Obviously, they've got some top players. David Silva's over there now, Mikel Oyarzabal, Mikel Merino. They even got, what's his name? The old Palace. Is it Andreas Soderlund or something? I think it is Andreas Soderlund. And even he's scoring goals for Sociedad. he was sort of deemed a flop in the Premier League. And obviously they've got history as well. We've got La Liga titles. But the best thing about Sociedad is the way they play football. It's such an attractive way of playing football. Managing Sociedad, you're going to have to focus on youth development, smart investment as well. You'll be looking to bring in those young players, develop them, sell them on for profit later on. Obviously, Sociedad are a good team, but they're doing it with quite a strict budget as well. It's a great opportunity to make a mark in Spanish football. Can you take Real Sociedad, can you develop them, and can you become one of the big teams in La Liga? Can you join the Barcelona, the Real Madrid, the Atletico Madrid? Can you win back-to-back titles? Can you get Champions League glory? That's the aim in this series. And you know what? You're going to have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. Coming in at number 6, another team relegated to the league below. It's Leeds United. So they got relegated from the Premier League to the Championship last year. And it's quite sad, really. I mean, they went through 3 managers, I think, last year. Bielsa, Jesse Marsch. They brought Sam Allardyce in. I think there might have even been someone in between them. And look, I think ultimately Allardyce came in too late to save Leeds. I think he had 3 or 4 games. He got a good result against Newcastle, but then I think he went on to lose his next 3 games. And look, Sam Allardyce, he is the survival expert. And unfortunately, he couldn't do it. But Leeds United were a historic club with a massive rivalry against Man United. And the way they came to the Premier League before dropping back down, it was through fantastic football. Bielsa had such a good head on him, and he got those guys playing well above the standards that they should have been playing at. The challenge with Leeds, it's quite a small squad. You need to build some depth in that squad. You need to be challenging for the Championship to get back into the promised land. Can you get back into the Premier League, re-establish Leeds as a top English side, and ultimately, can you bring them back to competing in Europe? Think back of a time when they had Ian Hart, Alan Smith, Lee Bowyer, Harry Kewell, Mark Viduka, Lucas Radebe, Jonathan Woodgate. They had such a good team. Can you get Leeds back to that level? Because I'll be honest, it's been too long since Leeds have been challenging for anything really. So, coming in at number 5 now, and we are going back to the Bundesliga, it's Eintracht Frankfurt. Now, Eintracht Frankfurt, they won the Europa League last season. I think they beat Rangers in the final. And they're showing that they've got potential, but they've shown this potential over and over again for years now. And unfortunately, they've never won the Bundesliga. Again, similar to Hertha Berlin, except you're already in the top league in Germany. You've got a diverse squad, a vibrant fan base. Can you guide them to domestic success? It would be an engaging task. It would be a challenging task. It's going to take time with Eintracht Frankfurt, but we've got all the potential in the world to make it happen. Coming in at number 4, the 4th best team to manage in career mode, according to ChatGPT, it's Fiorentina in Serie A. So, Fiorentina have always been known for playing the beautiful football. They have a history which includes 2 Serie A titles. With a balanced squad and potential young talents, managing Fiorentina offers a chance to develop a new generation of stars and return to the pinnacle of Italian football. So you think back to recent years where Dusan Vlahovic comes through, he leaves for Juventus. He's not really sort of worked it out at Juventus. There's talk of a transfer swap between Lukaku and Vlahovic, so Vlahovic could be heading over to Chelsea. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I don't think Juventus fans really want Lukaku there. But we've had some great players, the likes of Ribéry. We've currently got Amrabat. He may make a move this window. I know Man United are interested in him, but it's a great challenge. And can you get them not just winning things, but can you get them playing that attractive brand of football that is associated with Fiorentina? Can you get them back into Europe? Can you attract the big names to Italy? That's the challenge with Fiorentina. Again, none of these challenges are easy. This one's not easy, but it's going to be so rewarding if you can get them back to the glory days. And all we seem to have done in this is gone to Italy, headed to France, gone back to Italy, headed back to France. And that's what we're doing now. We're heading back to France. We're heading back to League 2 to join Bordeaux, but this time it's Saint Etienne. So this is an interesting one. So Saint Etienne make it onto this list every year. They're actually the most successful club in France regarding domestic league titles. That's right, they've won more league titles than Monaco, Marseille, PSG, Lyon, and yet they're down in League 2. Managing them provides a chance to revive a sleeping giant, build on the youthful squad, and take them back to dominating French and European football. That's the challenge, and what a challenge it is. They've got some good young talents, they've got a few older heads. You may need to spend a little bit of money, which you probably not got available to you at the beginning of the game, but that's the challenge, isn't it? Get yourself into League 1, earn the money, spend some money, try and compete with PSG. Do you know what? I think I quite like the challenge of competing with PSG because it's one of those where you shouldn't ever be competing with PSG. The money they've got, the players they've had, the Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, and somehow they're still a mean club. They've had some of the best players in the world and you still can't take them seriously. Can you take Saint Etienne to knock PSG off their perch? Can you take them to Champions League glory, something that PSG can never manage? That's a challenge, and it's going to be such a good one. And coming in at number 2, we have, and I hate this, I'm a Liverpool fan, but the second best team to manage in FC24's career mode, it's Everton. Everton are a club with a rich history, but he's struggled to clinch major silverware in recent times. With a squad comprising of some promising talents and an opportunity to build on what has been unsuccessful in the last 8-9 years. I mean, they've not really looked like an Everton team since the days of David Moyes. Can you take Everton out of a relegation battle? Can you take them to the top of England and European football? I'm going to be honest, I really hope not. But they are one of the sleeping giants in the Premier League, one of the original founders, and they've actually got the money to spend. Obviously, real life, FFP is restricting them a little bit. You don't have that problem in FIFA. They've got one of the richest owners in the Premier League. So you're going to have plenty of money to spend. You've got the attraction of Premier League football. You've got some good players. You've got Andre Onana, Dominic Calvert-Lewin if you can keep him fit. You've got... maybe you haven't got any decent players. Jordan Pickford's a good goalkeeper, but... yeah, I mean, it really needs a rebuild. It really needs someone who can recruit wisely and, just become a success of Everton. Maybe win a trophy. Maybe you're not going to win the Premier League, but maybe win a domestic cup, and I'll let you have that one. And finally, the best team to manage in FC 24 career mode, Valencia. Valencia's rich history includes multiple La Liga titles, UEFA Cup wins. But again, in recent years, they've been turbulent. Managing Valencia would be about restoring glory, nurturing young talents, making smart acquisitions to climb back to the top. And it's tough with Valencia. They've had some toxic owners recently. They've not really done anything since the days of Rafa Benitez, but they have had some top players. Carlos Soler sold to PSG purely to raise funds. Maximiliano Gomez was sold to, I think, Galatasaray to raise funds, or Trabzonspor. Jose Gaya is still there. He's a good player. You've had the likes of Cancelo, João Mata, David Silva, David Villa. The list is endless of Valencia legends. And, I mean, can you bring some of these creative forces through the youth ranks? Can you get back on top with Valencia to the point where you can challenge against your Barcelona, against your Real Madrid? Can you win against all odds? Can you take the trophy home against all odds? Can you challenge in the Champions League? That's a challenge, and I'm going to be honest, Valencia are my team in La Liga. I think they're brilliant, and consistently they pull out some worldy kits. Just have a look at this one. So there we have it, guys. That's the end of the video. Those are the top 10 teams to manage in FC 24 career mode. I didn't say it. It was chosen by ChatGPT. And yeah, I think it's a pretty good response. A lot of those teams have so much potential to become domestic champions at the very least. Listen, Whoever you choose in your career mode, let me know in the comments down below who you're planning on having your career mode series with, and I'll see you in the next video.